Coinbase trading platform. And as we go through the processes of trading, she's just giving me the informations. I relay that back to her with a screenshot. Then she tells me what the next process is. Whether this is to make sure I'm pushing the right button or not, it don't matter. It's a process they're using. However, so far we made one trade this today, and here's another one that just came through. That means buy more, and we go with that. Now I reflect that back to her, and we wait another 180 seconds. It's 3 minutes for the trade to see if it comes through. At the same time, I've got another lady called Luna, who's also wanting to trade with me later on. So if it all goes through, then all these wonderful things are happening perfectly. Everything seems to be pretty good, or regardless of all the scams going around. I'm not focusing on the scams, even though it does happen. It is disappointing, but I do absolutely believe that whatever God closes, he opens up another. And that's just how I work with faith at this point of time, to ensure my understanding and high degree of faith is adhered to. Because not everything that I see, and probably many people will probably see that also as legit or God purpose. Everybody, even I fall into that trap sometimes, to judge things that goes wrong as wrong, but not necessarily, because God closes one door and he opens up a bigger one. So when you do into that sort of understanding, I guess at this point of time, that's where I am, and I'm thankful. Although it is a bit scary to a certain degree that you are following something that you don't really know after so many bad hits. The waiting time is a process as we wait for the 3 minutes to kick over. Now, we started with, our balance started with $149.69. We made one trade and went up to $163.48. And we're waiting on this new trade with slightly higher the betting amount from $15 to $30. That's doubled. So we're looking at a little bit more to add into this account. I can only sort of say at this point of time, when God is ready to pay anybody out, he has his way. It's not my way. And following through his way it's sometimes the scary bit, because every time you go into one, you do something, then God closes that door, then he wants you to move on to the next one. So it is a process of faith, and it's not necessarily a process for the faint-hearted, but the process, it can only be done with what it's called faith, meaning trust God. He knows what he's doing. Wherever he's leading me and taking me, he knows exactly what it is. It's just up to me to stay faithful in regards to where he's taking me, especially in these areas that we are, that's called short-term trading. And yes, of course, I can easily turn around and accuse people, these people who's helping me trade, and accuse them, of otherwise. I mean, that's already normal as a human being, but nevertheless, here's the next one in progress. This is with Coinbase. The app is Coinbase. Let's have a look through the front here. And that's the simplicity of this trading app. I already put in about $100-something into it. And of course, it's already nearly double with 2 trades. 4 so far. 2 earlier on during the week and 2 more. And she wants some more trades. And let's give her. She's on the roll by the sound of thing, and I like that. I mean, I love this sort of process. the incredible thing about God is he knows what he's doing. I'm just going through with the people he has put before me. Now, that takes a lot of faith. I've been disappointed just recently because the things that most people call scams, I shouldn't be calling it that, because, as I said, when one door closes, it's just because God closes that door. And there's another trade being activated right at this point of time. Just waiting for her to show us the indication to activate the trade, which is a buy more, meaning the trade is to activate going upwards. And while we're waiting for her to read her signals from her end, we'll wait patiently for the indicator to push the buy more button. And here we go. The trade has been set for another 3 minutes, and as we wait patiently for the trade to go through. And as we wait for this trade to go through, of course, we do so patiently. And the young lady, Caroline, has said 2 more trade after this one. So 5 trades in a day. That is absolutely extraordinary. I haven't got that sort of services from the others that's been closed. But he was quite persistent in the beginning. He said, Steve, you've got to go on with Coinbase. Her persistent, I guess, probably show how God wants me to move on with this new website. And I have had that sort of experience in the past when a young man asked me to go and work with his dad. And the last day before I left the work site, the young man was quite persistent, said, Steve, go ring his dad. And the persistence of a person can mean that God is really trying to push me forward. I remember when I was in the army, when the instructors were pushing all the recruits, and it may sound mean in the words they say to push us as recruits and trainees, was to get the best out of us. Will we break under such duress? And going through these systems now with such like Caroline was persistent to say, Steve, hurry up, get onto this. It makes me think, about those times that there are people out there that God has already ordained to take any of us up the great height of existence or ladder. And I do appreciate it because I have been trained in that area in the past to recognize it. I have experienced it also prior in the past to understand when somebody's pushing us, it's because God is the one pushing that person to push us. And that's the reality to it. For all I know, that's God's angel using people to make sure we reach areas of life that can only exist through pushing ourselves. But nevertheless, I mean, we keep moving. We keep moving forward. And that's the most important. Got to make sure now, keep the time cap. When we make the first trade, it's a possibility that we may have just lost this one. It's taking a bit long to load. Nevertheless, that's just part of the process. Let me see. Explains why the young lady only bets small, because of the small amount of deposit we have. She don't want to lose more than what we have in account. But at the end of the day, our balance now, we made $10 through this trading sessions, and it's now $159.14 from $149. So it's a pretty good session. We might add on $10 to the account, and that's far more important. Well, basically, as we wait through processes, I'm sending the screenshot to the operator or the trader or the person that's helping me. And all she does is double check that I'm doing the right thing. As you can see, screenshots been taken and passed on before we go back to the actual training platform. And in this case, we are seeing a setup of a platform to do a $30 USDT trade at 180 seconds. And it's just made it, and that's just been confirmed. And the beauty about the system is you can preload the system up, and you're just simply just waiting for the signal. And that's one of the unique part of the system. And of course, when you're waiting for the signal, you're waiting for the chart perhaps to come in at the right portion, right area before you activate the trade. And that's unique. You know, you can really, really pinpoint an area where you want to open up a contract or opening up a position to make sure your trade is going to be profitable. And to a certain degree, the analysis team or the professional people anyway, they are very, very skilled at being able to accurately pinpoint where the trade's going to be in, say, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 120 seconds to 180 seconds. And of course, this one's a 3-minute setup, a 3-minute trade. And as you can see, the trade has gone through, and we already made $128.54 AT in a short space of time of trade. And the trade, of course, has been set that only a small proportion of the balance has been traded. For example, as you can see, we only got about just over $100 worth, and it's recommended we were only betting or outlaying or put at risk, if you wish, $30. And that is really necessary to be able to protect the account balance in case something goes, against you. And of course, in this trade session, there was 6 trades were made, and one was out of the coin, and that is the downside and the protections that like 90% hit rate, and only one off the mark, and that's the beauty when a certain, say, expertise is put into short-term trading. Great results and profits can be made, but you got to know what you're doing. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm only associating with the right people at this point of time who knows what they're doing with these short-term trading apps to be able to guide me through or give me directions which way to go. And I'm appreciative of the fact. At the same time, you still got to be aware there are scams out there. You got to be mindful of. There are people who are setting up these apps just to take your money away, and be mindful. Be careful. I don't really know exactly which one of these short trading apps to really that honors all your withdrawal. But I do have a few that has allowed withdrawal. This is a brand new account, Coinbase, that I've just had some funds into it about a few days ago, and I'm testing it out with a small. As you can see, it's only $128 now. We only put in about $100 in that investment. It's some money that we can afford to lose if if it does happen. But we're optimists, and we like a bit of gamble now and again. And this is just one of those areas. It is, of course, risky, and it's the risk that I am willing to take to be able to see through the outcome. Because in some cases, I will say this: some companies are brand new, and when they set up, of course, they're not going to have the resources and the money